Alright. Not too much light there. Hello there. New project. This just came in yesterday. And HR216 rear wheel drive. It's got a few miles on it. You can see the tires are bald. I think Honda does that on purpose now. But anyway, let's keep this light. He says it won't start. He can pour gas down the carburetor to make it fire. And but that is not my concern. So let's bring it up. All right. So what we have here is a bad thing, I think. Just got to loosen my redneck bandage here. The owner of this lawnmower says that he, much to my dismay, he sealed the carburetor with gasket compound, which in any small world, in any small world mechanic shop, that's a license to kill. Okay, so we're just going to get this guy running if we can. I don't know. I don't even know if I should try and see what kind of gas is in it. It's a nice old mower. Road King would love it. Gas looks okay. Looks burnable. So now we're going to just take this guy apart and see what kind of damage is done to the carburetor. You know what, should I give her a squirt? Let's just try that, and we'll see if it kicks at all. I know it's on the bench. Let's clamp the clamp here. You guys can't see me. Oh, that's enough. There's a lot of drag on that motor. Let's get that carburetor off there. Oh, I hope he didn't use Permatex to hold it together. He did. Right there, see that? Hopefully that's the only place he put it. We didn't put it onto this intake of the Well, there's no sense crying over spilt milk. Let's get this thing off of here. Oh God, I need some gas. I'm just rattled, you guys. This is an expensive lawnmower. I'm just using my... There we go. Let's turn that on. There. Okay, let's see how bad this is. That's the throttle end, that's the gas end. Sorry, I'm frustrated. It'll hardly even drain itself. Never, ever use wet Permatex on a seal where there's fluid like fuel or gas, gasoline, diesel. It's okay to use Permatex on a sump cover or a valve cover like that. Never, ever. It might even be in the valves, eh? Don't mind me, I was just showing this to the manager of acquisitions. She said to me, yeah, he was probably really proud of himself when he did that too. Now, if he followed the instructions and waited for it to dry, mostly dry, we might get lucky, punk. I'm just going to throw that into some fuel. Pardon me, I'm using fuel. We'll melt that Permatex. And then I'm going to go over to the, before I get anything else disconnected, I'm going to go over to the wire brush grinder and clean this off. Okay, wonder if we'll get lucky or not. Well, the needle is stuck down. What? We'll pull it, or the seat, so we'll see how hard it's stuck. We need another. I think this will work. It doesn't hurt to store this stuff. Oh no, we're good. So now I'm just squirting around. I'm just squirting around. I should be using GIS screwdrivers here, and I don't have any yet. Look at that evil piece of stuff that just came out of there. Okay, screwdriver. Sometimes the big one works and sometimes it doesn't. All depends on the slot in the jet. Nope. Everything's loose. Maybe that's what his problem was. Everything was loose and he had no vacuum, so he thought he'd cure the vacuum by closing everything up. I think we're going to get lucky, punk. Carburetor kit. Little Allen key. Yeah, I use the Allen key sometimes on these stubborn emulsion tubes to get them out. And I just reach in there where the emulsion tube was and give it a shove. There we go. Okay, this is the key right here. I think we're going to be all right. This end one must be the one that's plugged. And it's not. Okay, so we've got a little work to do. I guess the first thing to do is to squirt a bit of stuff into here. Good. Good. I'm going to put that little screw back in that. Pardon me, I'm always looking for something, right? I'll talk while you're bored. Okay, so let's just clean out the jet here. I might get my little drill kit back out again and it'll enlarge this emulsion tube a little bit. Nope. All right, now I'm cleaning off. I got the carburetor done. I think it's good. Now we're getting the sponge off the, whoop, that's the sideways blower. Now we're going to get the sponge off the gaskets. Just a few tricks, and they're not tricks, they're just, you know, things you think about, right? You take a sharp blade and you go backwards, not forwards. And you rinse in clean gas. Good. One. Now, this one is still okay. There's no goo on it. This one is broken. This gasket is broke. Gasket is broken. That's why he used the goo. It's one good thing that Carb spray is good for, is getting silicone off of stuff. Over here, wire brush. Let's try a plastic brush. Check it back in the gas. Now this gasket has me sad. I'm going to save these pieces of silicone to show the owner. I'll say, if you do this again, bring your lawnmower to someone else. Okay. This gasket, I don't know if I got one, but that's probably why he used the gasket maker, was because of that seal, and he was worried. I wonder what I got in my Honda stuff. I don't have much. Alright, I'm using the dowel method to line up the carburetor. Right now I've got the dowel shoved through the main support bracket, through the first gasket, through the carburetor, and now I'm just lining up the other gaskets on the other side. And I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time, but I'm just going to sit this in there like that and shove the dowels through. It's not that hard once you've done it a couple of hundred times. But I can't film it because I just don't have the dexterity. Okay, that's what it looks like. Now I'm going to put the carburetor housing on. I think we have throttle and choke. Okay, so let's go to choke. Yes, we have choke. Open. And less throttle and more throttle. So I think we're good. Throttle. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Shoot. Hi. You want to witness this? I'm online.
Want me to film you?
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, from over there, because the sun is just craziness. We're recording already.
Who are we? Okay.
Oh. Choke.
Oh. Hang on here. I gotta shut the door, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's the sun is so bright, and then you see my shadow. That's so much better.
Mrs. Pender is filming us. You gotta make sure we got a choke, closed choke. I don't know. Oh, flashlight. Right there. Black. Red handle.
Sorry, now I'm gonna move around.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, is that the wrong one?
No, it's good. Oh, we got choke. Now, let's see if it starts. We don't have much ventilation with that. Okay. Looks like something's dragging. Okay. What's dragging?
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
Exactly. It's just a little bit of persuasion. It's dragging. Something's dragging. No, it's gonna go. Has he got? Can't do that. It's gonna fire though. Okay, thank you. I gotta try my small trick. Okay, Bill, this is for you. This comes out of my shed. It's a sturdy little orange box, double layer, inside on the outside. And I got Honda and Honda clone coils, miscellaneous coils. That's always an interesting one, right? Old Tech with points and new Tech, Tecumseh. Tech means Tecumseh. So I am looking for, hang on. This isn't your, what I would call the usual shaped Honda coil. Looks a lot like a Tecumseh, except Tecumseh have a little bump there. So this is a wider U-shaped coil than your usual T-shape, would you say? So let's just have a look and see what we got. And that's the one I was talking about. It has an insert right there and there, where this one doesn't. And this one might be one too. So we have two potentials, and I bet in the Honda world this clone might even fit. So we'll see. And I'll be right back because I want to show the owner something. Well, we gotta move over. Need a little more cord room. Gotta have a good ground, and that'll work. Okay, when I ground this, we should see a spark there. We'll get zoom right in on it. I've only got one hand, remember, at a time. Okay. Good. The ground is on that bolt. Okay, let's change that coil. Why? Okay, let's laugh our heads off together, guys. There's the coil was on upside down. I never noticed that the original guy had the coil on upside down. Usually a person can assume that when it comes in, it was running and then something small made it quit. But this one had a carburetor full of goo and the coil upside down. I don't know if you can see that. Let's just zoom in a little bit on that. I felt it. I think you saw that. Okay, let's get that spark plug in there. Let's get the spark plug in there, yeah. There, now you got a song in your brain. So I'm just going to throw this in here like that. Triple check the 10 mil. Oh, yeah. And do we just float this out the back? Do you think it'll start? I think it will. Let's just give it a little try. Right on, baby. All right, back on the Honda. I'm making a gasket. This gasket is torn, so I am just making one right now. And it's going to be it's going to look crude, but it's going to work just great. There, now we should be able to lift that off of there and get a darn good idea of what we're looking for here. That should do it. It should give me something to work with. Corners, eh? I might use the punch in the corners. Lovely. Use the other one. Tab, let's see, it's going to be flat this way. What do you think? I think it's going to be good. A little bit of a cosmetic line here. Whoop. Okay, let's get this bad boy back on the lift. This old boy doesn't like going on his hands and knees. I'm just going to pop this in and we'll see if it runs any better. I guess I should show you what it's doing. Bad lighting here. Oh, we're gonna choke it. So, considering this one came with silicone in the carburetor, I'm done with it. It has a mist, but not bad. It takes about 40 seconds and then the mist goes away. Alright guys, I'm crazy, but I went back and I cleaned this carburetor one more time. And it just runs like a champ now. So on this one, it came in, there was plastic silicone gasket sealer in the carburetor. Then I couldn't get a spark, so the magneto or the coil was upside down. And I put it all back together again, and it was missing that gasket, so I made a gasket. I actually did that in 2 attempts. Where'd that go? Should be here somewhere. One moment, please. There it is. There's my first one. My second one looks a little prettier, more refined. That's right on the input to the intake manifold too, and that leaked. I thought I might get away without using that gasket, and I sprayed carb cleaner when it was assembled, and it just sputtered like crazy into that crack, intake manifold crack from the missing gasket. So anyway, she runs like a champ now. I have no problem calling the customer. I'm going to leave it overnight, and I'll call the customer in the morning.